Hi, guys. So, yesterday you listened to the story, First Year Letters, and in your notebook, you were supposed to brainstorm some ideas of a letter you could write to your teacher about how to make your class even better. What did you come up with? Flip back in your notebook now and read over that list of your ideas. So, I want to have you help me write a letter, and then you'll get to do it on your own. Come on over to our writing center. Okay, I've got my fresh piece of paper, and we need to always think about the important parts of a letter. So we start in the corner up here by writing the date. Why do you think we put the date? Yeah, because by the time you mail something, sometimes it takes a little while for people to receive the letter. So you want them to know when you actually wrote it. So today, when I'm writing this letter, it's November. November is 11. It's the 30th, and the year is 2020. You can write out the words or you can do the numbers. And then we need to have a greeting. So, depending on who you're writing the letter to, is how formal you make the greeting. So, since your assignment today is write it to your teacher, it's kind of not super casual, but not super formal. So, saying something like dear would be appropriate. Okay? So, dear. And since I don't have a teacher to write to, I'm going to write to a teacher friend who's across the street right here. I'll write to Mrs. Blake. Dear Mrs. So remember, this is Mrs. with the period. If your teacher is Mr., it'd be MR period. And some teachers prefer just MS, Ms. Dear Mrs., and then we need to have an uppercase because it's a proper subject, a person's name. Dear Mrs. Blake. And I want to be respectful when I'm suggesting how we can make our classroom better. I don't want her to think that I don't love our classroom because I do. It's a magical place. Maybe that's how I'll start. So I got to make sure she knows I like it. Dear Mrs. Blake, our, and I indented, I put a little space in before I started. Our class is a magical place. I love it so much that I came up with some ideas to make it even better. So this really shows my teacher that I care about it. I'm not bashing it by saying I want to make it better. So one of the things on my list that could make our classroom even better is that every time the clock strikes a new hour, we all get to get up and do a 1 minute dance. I just thought that'd be fun to break up the day and help us tell time. So let me reread what I wrote. Dear Mrs. Blake, our class is a magical place. I love it so much that I came up with some ideas to make it even better. What if we had a mini dance party every time the clock strikes a new hour? Also, another idea that I had that would make our class even better is if we invite Mrs. Sheehan in to read a book every week. Also, it would, Mrs. Sheehan's the principal at Memorial Park. So if you're at a different school, maybe you would want to invite your principal. Also, it would be so cool if we invited, and maybe not just Mrs. Sheehan, but if we invited people to read us books each week, like parents and superintendents and town members. So if we invited people from the community to read to us each week. Lastly, we would learn to be responsible if we had a class pet. And then we need to wrap up our letter. So I should say something like, I hope you consider my ideas. I hope you consider my ideas. And now I need to do a closing, sign out. I could say sincerely, your student, your friend. Maybe I'll say your helpful student, Mrs. Holbrook. Your helpful student. And then we put a comma, a pause mark, and then we sign your name. Mrs. Holbrook. Awesome. So now it's your turn to get your paper from your notebook and use your ideas from yesterday to write a letter to your teacher about how you can make your classroom even better. Good luck with your letters.